What's up, guys? Welcome to Bike Bike, where we teach you how to do simple shit on your bike to save you money so you can ride your bike some more and buy some new shit instead of paying somebody to fix the shit that broke. All we're gonna do today is we're going to compound one of the other videos I've done about adding a dropper post, replacing a dropper post, and now we need to put the seat on. One of the unique things about a seat is what I've learned from watching other videos about people putting seats on is that you need to put the seat on with some grease. It's that simple. Most of the time when you got metal on metal, you actually need grease. Usually when you're using bolts that you're gonna torque, you need grease, which is counterintuitive because it feels like that's gonna help it to slip out or slip away, but that's just not how it works. I can't explain to you how it works because I don't know anything about it. I just do what bike mechanics tell me how to do. As usual, I will compile and place the most useful links that I have found, the most useful videos that I have found to learn how to do this kind of stuff in the whatever you call it below. So, all I've done is grease the rails of this seat. Before I greased them, I cleaned them. I happen to know that this seat post takes a 4mm Allen key. I'm gonna put my seat, let's move my camera. I put my seat right there because I know how to put the seat on the wheel. I'm gonna loosen up these nuts and bolts. This is factory settings right here. Again, this is an old dropper. This thing might be 4 years sitting on the shelf at some warehouse. We got it for a deal. They might even have more. If you need yourself a 125mm dropper post in a 31.6 seat post diameter, make your way over to Jensen, I think, where I got this one, and grab the last couple they got. I'm not that tall. I ride a medium frame, which is a little bit on the big side. I fit within that range, but when you're at the bottom of a size range, right, you are going to be the example of a guy who the frame is a little bit big for, which one of the things that's going to happen there is you can't run as long a dropper post as a person who's at the top of that range. So this is supposed to go all the way up to guys that are 6 feet tall, 6'1". If you're 6'1", you're going to be able to use a 150 dropper in here, maybe even 170 dropper. I can't because I'm 5'8", so that means that I might be able to actually run a 150. But this bike actually doesn't belong to me. This is my wife's bike, and she's short. So a 125 is like perfect. You run this thing like maybe even an inch lower than that, and it's perfect for her. But if I put a 150 in here, everything extends, and all of a sudden she can't have it extend to her seat post height and still pedal. It'll be a little bit too high. So I'm a little bit limited, but with 125 on here, it's kind of an XC bike. And I can get plenty rowdy on it without having the seat post go any lower, so it works out fine. As it happens, if I were looking for a 150 post, I probably wouldn't have gotten such a great deal. 125 has become passé, and since no one else is really looking for it, that means you can pick this thing up for 150 bucks. That's crazy. So here we are. All right, let's get these bolts out. These guys have, maybe it's white Loctite, maybe it's Teflon tape, I don't know. Probably white Loctite, whatever that is. I'm going to take the bolts all the way out. I know that I like my seat slammed forward on this bike. Like we already talked about, I'm small for a medium. I should be riding a medium according to Santa Cruz, but I'm not one of the taller people that should be riding a medium, so I put the seat quite far forward. When you're installing a seat post, always notice most seat posts have a little arrow that point where the front of the bike goes, so you don't put it on backwards. So that makes it real easy. All you gotta do is check those arrows, and you get that thing on there. Boom. Then all we gotta do is put your finger up in there and push the little nuts down so they don't pop up when you put the bolt through. Slide that thing through, get it threaded just a little bit. There we go. Got 5 or 6 turns on that guy. Now he's in there. I'm gonna do the same thing on the front. Finger goes through the back. Hold that nut there so that the deal doesn't pop out while I'm threading this in. All right, we're gonna thread this guy through. The very next thing we need to start considering is the position of our seat. Do you need it slammed forward? Do you need it slammed back? Do you want the angle of it to be up or down? What I usually do is set the angle of it with one side, and I think I know where I like mine, so I'm just gonna, again, I'm gonna block that nut there so it can't pop out, and I'm gonna hold the seat where I want the level. I basically want to level it, because that's what I find I kind of like on this bike. And then I just wind that nut, or that bolt, all the way in there until I see it start dropping it back. Alright, now that's about as far as I want to see. Yeah. Once it starts pulling it back further than where I want it, I get off of that side, and then I go to the front and wind that guy all the way in. It should be able to pull it just about the position I want before it starts to tighten up. And I'll just watch it. That's a little bit, let's see. Yeah, that's about good. That might be a bit nose down for me. All right. You always want to make sure you get it tight enough without going too tight. No need to hurt it. Cool. Okay, we use that same 4. This seat post is crooked. I'm going to loosen it, straighten it, and I don't actually know my seat post height, but I'm willing to bet that this is close because I'm familiar with how much seat post I show on this bike with a 125 in it. So, I'm going to pull it out of the stand. Ooh, I should touch on this. I got a bike stand, a Park Tool bike stand. You can see it over there. It's the blue shit. When you're fitting a dropper post, you can't hang the bike in a bike stand because you would usually clamp it by the seat post, which I can't do because I'm too short. So you're not supposed to clamp it with this part, though I'm sure you can. Bike shops do it all the time. Feel free. I'm not going to do it because it just, to me, it seems like that goes inside that. I don't want to put any pressure on that. That's undue. I usually hang my bikes up by the seat. As long as the dropper post is extended fully, I feel comfortable hanging it by there. But I can't hang it here when I'm taking this post out. So, you've got these cool, dorky little, look at that thing. Where is it? There you go. All you do is set the bike in it, kind of holds it back here with this wheel, and the bike tire sits in this little channel. It works for every bike. My kids' bikes fit in it. My bikes fit in it. 29ers, 27.5s, 20-inch wheels, BMX, whatever. And what that does, oh, that's cool. We're like sideways. What that does is gives you the ability to take your handlebars off, mess with your headset, play with bottle cages, seat posts, anything like that that you can't necessarily do when it's hanging in a stand, because that would then, stuff would fall down or the stand can't hold it by the thing you're taking out of it. Just details like that. So it's cool to have 2 different types of bike stands. Anyway, there we go. That's seat post on. End of video. Check you later.